So you're exhausted because you keep working on yourself, but you're annoyed because you keep making mistakes. And you don't feel like you can be compassionate with yourself because the last time you gave yourself any leeway, you took a mile and then you self-sabotaged. Is this sounding about right? Firstly, you have to understand how this cycle is working. At some point in time in your life, somebody or multiple people made you feel like an inconvenience anytime you made a mistake. And because of that, your brain is now wired to think that anytime you make a mistake, you are a failure, you're unlovable, or some other negative connotation and meaning towards yourself. And because of this, you're afraid of making mistakes and or afraid of being a failure. And because of that, you've become hypervigilant with yourself in the hopes that you don't make a mistake. And the thing is, whenever you put yourself under a microscope, you start noticing every single flaw. And now in your mind, every single flaw becomes a mistake, which then leads to all or nothing thinking. And all or nothing thinking brings on the false promise of perfection, which then leads to neurotic tendencies because you will never meet that standard. And now you're on a never-ending hamster wheel of suffering. I'm not enough. I'm not lovable. And so since you can't meet the standard of perfection because no one can, and since you're on this journey for perfectionism, there's a good chance that you're not allowing any space for enjoyment in your life. I mean, how could you enjoy yourself when you're spending every moment of your time criticizing yourself? So naturally, there's going to be a part of you that rebels because it's thinking, well, if I'm not lovable and I'm not good enough either way, then why even bother trying? And so you swing from hypervigilant perfectionism to the other extreme of nihilism and none of this matters. So why not mess everything up? But then eventually this self-sabotaging part of you gets taken over by the perfectionistic part of you again, and then you criticize yourself relentlessly for allowing it to happen again. But can you now start to understand how both of these extremes are feeding into one another? Yeah. If you're asking yourself, how do I keep working on myself because I'm exhausted because I keep making mistakes? The way to start working on that is to stop seeing yourself as an inconvenience. Create balance in your life. There is a place for the go-getter part of you who wants to improve certain aspects of your life. But there also needs to be a place for the part of you that needs enjoyment and fun and pleasure. Because here's the catch, they are two sides of the same coin. So when you can start to view these things as two parts of yourself that are working towards the same objective, you can start to allow grace for both of those parts of you. And you can start getting them to work together with each other. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, my name is Sarah. I'm your favorite self-experimenting coach or companion, and I help get people reacquainted with who they most authentically are. You're an amazing person, and I hope you have the best day.